Morning, good morning, good morning. You just started. I got 1 hour. Let's keep this going. Shannon, good morning. Juan, what's going on, man? Cool for y'all to pop up in here.
Let me tell you why I chose.
What up, Compton? Louis, what up? For sure. Yeah, definitely. Some of y'all already got it. Got the credit. Actually doing real well.
Time management while being over the road is every. Listen, y'all, the ladies guess.
I'll wait till about the 3 minute mark line. We'll get this going. And I know I did a video about this a while ago, but new information came. A lot of new information came up. A lot of different ways to build business credit fast to get some of y'all going. Um, Wednesday, hump day already. Almost Friday. Business business credit it really don't got anything to do with a business account. I mean, it does have something to do with it, but that's part of the establishment. But it really doesn't have anything to do with building business credit um, as far as the business bank account. Um, Building the business bank account is more of the building a relationship with the bank to get funding. I mean, so I guess in a sense it does. Um, but let's go ahead and start. Um, let's get this thing going. Like I said, I got an hour or less. Um, but first things first, appreciate everybody coming in. You want to learn about business credit, and want to learn how to take your business to the next level. But first things first is establishing the business itself. Whether you get an LLC or you incorporated, S corp, C corp, whatever way you go about it, you got to establish the business itself. Um, and then you want to, go to the Secretary of State in your state website, get the LLC or incorporation, get the business started. Everybody's fees is different. I know here in Virginia it's only $100. I know in different states it might be higher, but you got to get the LLC or the incorporate or get it incorporated. Then you want to go and get the EIN number, the IRS. The IRS, go to IRS.com. You can put in the search bar EIN, and you can get your EIN number. It's free. Uh, and you attach that EIN number to your LLC. So make sure when you get the LLC established or the corporate incorporation, um, make sure that everything is correct when you put it on the IRS and to get your EIN number. because one thing you don't want to do is misspell something on the EIN IRS, and now you gotta go through all these hoops to get it changed, and it's a crazy process. So make sure everything is lined up correctly with the LLC and the EIN number. You got that going. You got the EIN number. Now, what you want to do is get your uh make sure you have a. Well, let me backtrack a little bit. Make sure you have a business address too. So the business address thing. There's a lot of talks about virtual address. Can you get business credits? You use a PO box. You use a your home address. Don't use a home address. Don't use a PO box. Get you a virtual address, unless you have an actual business where you can use it, a physical address. But if you don't, 9 times out of 10, a lot of people don't have a physical address where it's a business. You don't want to use a personal address just because you use a personal address that's public. You don't want to put that on public that you your personal address, when you're doing business. That's first things first. So what you want to do is get the make sure your bit once you start your LLC, make sure the name is available, and go back and go to I use Regis. There's other ones you can use too. I use Regis, virtual address. Get the address first. Make sure the LLC or your name is available first. Get the business address, tell them what the name is. Go ahead, purchase it. You can be probably paying about 50 bucks to $75 a month, something like that, depending on what kind of building you get. Get the address, attach it to the LLC, and then attach it to the EIN, just like that. Um, Now you have a virtual address, a business address, where you can list it anywhere without being, don't use, like I said, don't use a PO box, don't use your home address. Okay, so now you got that going. You got your LLC, you got your business address, you got your EIN number. It's 3 things right there. Now you need to go get a website, a presence. You need to have a presence. You need to get a website. Reason why I say you need to get a website, it can be simple, something simple. It could be a one-page website, but you need a website. A website. That's the fourth thing. You need a website. You need a presence. Okay. Reason why you need a website is because you're gonna have to. We're gonna talk about that later because it's done at Bradstreet. You need a website. Okay. You got your website. Now you also need an 800 number. You can get an 800 number. I use Grasshopper. I forgot how much it is. You can look at it. You can get one number. They're okay. They're pretty cool. You need an 800 number. Stop using your cell phones. Uh, get an 800 number. Get a website. That's four. That's the fifth thing. LLC, EIN number, business address, 800 number, and a website. 5 things right there. Virtual. Uh, how much is the virtual address plate? They range. They range from 50. I seen $50 plus, depending on what kind of building you get. They all gonna range different. Now you got all those things in place because you're gonna. These are the 5 things you're gonna need to start establishing business credit. You need to have these things. Um, it's a must. So you got all that stuff rolling. You're officially established. So now you need to go. Now you want to talk about getting everything listed. You need to go get your business listed on the yellow pages. Um, that's pretty much it as far as getting listed in yellow pages. And then you need to go to Dun and Bradstreet. Now you need to go get a Duns number. You need to go get a Duns number. Go to DNB, DNB.com, like D, the letter D, the letter N. I think it's D, the letter N. Let me hold on. Let me get that for y'all real quick. 'Cause I don't want to. I think it's D, the letter N. No, that's not it. Dun and Bradstreet. There it is. DNB. Okay, so it is DNB. www.d, the letter D, the letter N, like N in his natural. Okay, yeah, they changed the way it looks. So it's the D, the letter D, the letter N, and the letter B. Dun and Bradstreet. It looks like this. They just changed the way it looks. It looks like this. The Dunn's number is free. Don't go through all the hoops. These marketers trying to sell you something. The Dunn's number is free. You need to get a Dunn's number. Keep the Dunn's number. Like I use all my stuff. If you got an iPhone, I put all my stuff on like the Notes app, and I had it, and I got it pinned. So I had it since since day one. Everything's pinned. So you need to get it done in Bradstreet number. Um, and what Dun and Bradstreet does, they ask when you're going through the process of trying to get a DUNS number, they're going to ask you for your website. If you don't have a website, then it takes a longer time for them to verify what your business is. That's why I say you need to get a website. Like I said, just get a simple website. You don't gotta be nothing crazy. You can go. I use GoDaddy. Um, I use GoDaddy, and then you can use like a app like Fiverr. Hire somebody to build your website. I think I'm missing something too. Uh, oh, you need a professional email as well. A professional email. I'm not talking about your business name at gmail.com. I'm talking about something like, accounting at yourbusinessname.com. So you need a professional business address. Like I said, I'm telling y'all what you need. You need all those things because everything got to match up. So you got to get all these things, and that doesn't even cost much to get um, a professional email address. You can go to G Suite. G Suite is like for the business side of Gmail, pretty much, and you can get you an email address. But first, you have to go to GoDaddy to get a domain. So, um, and you can get a professional email through GoDaddy. You don't have to use G Suite. You can use G Suite or you can use GoDaddy. I use G Suite on my trucking side. On my brokerage side, I use GoDaddy. So I have a split between the both. Um, but I think I believe G Suite is a little bit cheaper. I believe so. But definitely either or. They both do the same thing. Now you got all those things. You have a business. You're presentable. You got a Dunn's number. That's the main one because Dun and Bradstreet is the number one for, bureau for the business. Now you got all those things. Now you're ready to get established with some credit. Let me read some of y'all's questions before I jump into this credit thing. The Dun is free. Also, DNB asks if you're going to be doing business with the government. Said yes, you'll get the son's number that day, the Dun's number that day. Okay, Mario right there just said this right here. Make sure your email address is connected to your website. Correct. Uh, Shannon, for about $50 for the year, you can get a website and domain with the email. If you can drop down whatever one you're talking about, what website you're talking about, that's some good information right there. Um, like I said, this is what I've been using for the past 4 years. I never really changed it. I just kept it what it was. But if you have some information about a better way of getting something cheaper, go ahead and drop it. You said GoDaddy, okay. Um, you can get all those things, the domain with the email. Okay. Like I said, I didn't even know about GoDaddy when I first started. Started using GoDaddy when I started doing the brokerage. But I was using G Suite just to get but GoDaddy does do all those stuff. But G Suite's pretty much just for the actual email, the business email. Um, Going forward. Uh, and y'all just drop questions in there. If you got any questions, I'll look at it and try to answer them. Now you got all those things. Now you're ready to establish business credit. Business credit. Now you got everything listed. You look presentable. Your business is out there. Now you're trying to obtain some credit. Now, You could go the traditional way, which is the way I pretty much started out with, or you can go with the trade line thing. The only reason why I'm not really a big fan of trade lines because it gets kind of tricky and kind of confusing sometimes. And if you got too many trade lines, it's looking like the banks are not dumb. They're gonna be like, all right, well, this guy got all these trade lines. What do you think he's doing? He's paying all this money to get a trade line. They're not dumb. So I didn't go that route of doing the whole trade line thing. I went the traditional route. I just started off from the beginning. And what I mean by start from the beginning, I believe I started. Of course, y'all know the main ones: the Quill.com, the Granger, and the it's Quill, Granger, and Uline. Quill, Granger, and Uline. Those are the three ones you can go get. Go on their website, and you can go get a net 30 with them. You fill out your information. Everything's already established. Fill out your information. They'll give you a net 30 account. The thing about using those, you can't just buy stuff that's $5 here, $10 there. You have to do $50 or more. It has to be $50 or more on each of those sites. That's the only way they're going to report to the credit bureau. It has to be $50 or more. You want to use that a couple of times. These sites have like your basic household needs like toilet paper, napkins, just all kind of different stuff. Granger has like a lot of tools and stuff like that. Uline and Quill pretty much almost kind of similar in a sense. Uline's more like your household needs. Quill is more so like first aid kits and stuff like that, safety stuff. But they both kind of go together in a sense. But Granger's kind of like different with like they got like tools and stuff like that. But you can go to these places, get a net 30 account, and they'll invoice you. The statement comes, pay the bill. Go ahead, pay the bill. Pay the bill. Maybe do it like 2 or 3 more times just to get things going. That's three trade lines right there. 3 trade lines right there out the gate. There you go. Next thing, what I did was I went and got I can't remember which order it was. It was either I got the EFS Fleet One card or was the Capital One Sparks card. Um, I don't remember which one I got first, but either way, the Fleet One EFS card. When I first got that card at the time, we're talking about back in like 2018. I got that just off my EIN number. So I don't know if the rules changed or whatever the case may be, but I was able to get the Fleet One card just off my EIN number, and it was like $2,500. I think it was $2,500 at the time. One truck operation. Got that card. That's 4 trade lines right there. And then I got the Capital One Sparks card. So the thing about Capital One Sparks card, they're gonna pull your personal credit. And it is going to show up on your personal credit. But it does report on the business side as well. So you definitely don't want to default at that. Depending on your credit, I think at the time they gave me like $500. Cool, whatever. That's 5 trade lines right there. All right. Once you got them 5 trade lines, tier 1, I call that tier 1. You got all that stuff reporting all at the same time. Now you want to move into the tier, and we call tier 1. They call tier 1 vendor credit, in a sense, minus the credit card and the Fleet One card and the Capital One card. But you called it tier 1. That's all I did in the beginning. I had them 5 trade lines, had them reporting. I did it for a while, and then I started looking into, all right, what's my next step? Tier 2. We moved to tier 2. And went after the Staples. Yes, it does report to the Duns. Um, Staples. Now we're moving to store credit. Staples credit card. Sam's Club. Now be careful with the Sam's Club. The Sam's Club one, I had a little difficulty getting just because they said something about verifying. They couldn't verify my address. All I did was they sent me a letter in the mail and I sent them back a reconsider letter, like, hey, I verified my business. Here you go. And I think I sent it to like Orlando or something like that. And they sent me a letter back and they approved it. It was that simple. Um, but Sam's Club, get a Sam's Club card. Some of you guys are over the road. Why not get a Sam's Club card, get groceries or whatever you need to get? Um, that's six. That's a six tray line right there. Then go after the Walmart one. You should be able to get a Walmart business card. That's seven right there. 5, 6, 7. And then you can kind of play around with, now you got some credit rolling in, you got all these things reporting. Now try to, once you get that going, now what you want to try to do is try to get some type of line of, or some type of net 30 account with, or net 25, net 30 account with some type of place where you can start getting not equipment, parts for your truck. Staples, the Staples require you a personal credit. Yeah, you're gonna have to start. You're gonna have to personal guarantee some of this stuff. It is what it is. But the thing about it is, you can get that stuff removed, and I'm gonna talk about that too. Um, but I'm gonna finish this right here. We got 7, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now you want to start getting some type of place where you can get parts for your truck. Now I use Tire Water Fleet Supply. I'm not sure if that's nationwide. I know it's here in my area in Richmond. They got it one down there in the beach area. But you can also go to places like Kenworth, Peterbilt, you know, Kenworth, Peterbilt. What's the other one? International and places like that. But those places like that will use your uh, personal credit. But Tire Water Fleet Supply, now you can find a place that has parts for your truck that doesn't attach your personal guarantee. Um, then do it. The goal is trying to find these accounts that doesn't require you use your social security number. But you're going to have to use your social security number to attain business credit. It is what it is. But you can get those things removed. Like I said, I'm gonna tell you about that in a second. Um, Now I went and got Tire Water Fleet Supply and got that one, and that was a net. I believe that's a net 25. And I use that, for my basic needs for trailers. I got all the trailers and stuff like that where I need the airbags, brakes, stuff in my truck, oil filters, oil, stuff like that, man. Because you're gonna need it. So why not go get an account that's dealing with parts in your industry? You see what I'm saying? That's another trade line. Um, for any Love's card account does not report the credit. I don't have a Love's card. But I do have um a pilot JB Hunt card or JB Hunt pilot card, however you want to say it, which is connected to EFS, which they also report. So I do have that account too. But now we're sitting at, we'll say 8, and then plus the pilot one. That's 9. That's 9 trade lines right there. And you really didn't have to use your personal credit too much. You might have had to get an inquiry on it maybe 3 times or whatever the case was. That's okay. Don't be afraid to get hard inquiries on your personal credit because you can get those removed. That's 9 right there. The goal is to get 10. Once you get 10 trade lines, the door is wide open. So after I started getting all that stuff started reporting, then I started looking into like fintech cards. I haven't got a business credit card yet, but I started looking into fintech cards. Fintech cards are like digital cards where you can create virtual credit cards. You can go to the app and create virtual credit cards to your employees and stuff like that. You use those kind of cards for like subscriptions and stuff like that. Well, like subscriptions like DAT. You might want to use it for rent or like your utility bills, something like that. I started looking to fintech cards because the thing about fintech cards, you're able to get business credit based off your bank statements. So that was a game changer for me. I was like, oh, I can get credit cards, I can get fintech cards based off my bank statements. I said, boom. All right. So I started looking at Divvy. I got a Divvy card, DI Diivy, Divvy.com or something like that. Look it up. I got my first, and they give you an actual real card too, but you can create, virtual cards. Say like you left your actual card at home or whatever. You can create a virtual card through the app, and you can change the limits and stuff like that. So, um, I got a Divvy card. They gave me like 10 grand out the gate. 10 grand. I was like, boom, that's another trade line. We already at 10 trade lines. Um, and then I started looking a little bit deeper, and I eventually got a Capital, another fintech card, Capital on Tap. Capital on Tap was a game changer too, because Capital on Tap was a kind of like it was like a fintech card, but then it was leaning towards a credit card. So the thing where Capital on Tap is kind of similar to like Divvy, but Capital on Tap was based off of your. It wasn't based off your bank statements. It was actually based off your credit. Um, I can't remember if it was based off the business. They did a personal guarantee or not, but you have to look that up. Um, but Capital on Tap. So the way they set up, it was kind of like I said, it was leaning towards a fintech, but it was leaning towards a credit card. So I got the Capital on Tap card, and when the bill came, you had the option of like it was options. You could pay like 10% of your bill. So if you pay, so say like you spent, so they gave me like 10 grand out of the gate. So say like you spent 10 grand and you spent 10 grand, your statement comes out. They be like, all right, well you owe $1,000 because that's 10% of $10,000. So that's how Capital on Tap worked. It was pretty cool. So it kind of worked like a credit card. So Capital on Tap was a game changer too. So definitely get Capital on Tap. They're like a UK company, but they expanded to the US. So there was a game changer to get that card. Um, Now I got these divvies and these Capital on Taps before they started like popping. So now they like I think sometimes they got like people on wait lists and stuff like that. They put you on a wait list for some of these cards because everybody's applying because the information's like way out there now. So I started doing all this stuff before it was like popular. But some of them have you on wait lists. So we already had like 11 trade lines right there. And then I got to, I forgot, I did get a traditional, like an actual credit card. I got a Citizen Bank credit card. That's a real business credit card. Um, and and that was actual business credit card, but they based it off my bank statements. I believe so. It was my bank statements, but it was a traditional bank card, and they gave me like 7 grand, 7 grand out the gate. You know, um, so now you see what I'm saying. Now you starting to establish a lot of credit. The trade lines are still reporting. I'm still using the actual, the vendor credits. I still use the store credits here and there. But now we on a whole nother level. The doors is opening. We got all these things reporting. Everything's looking good. And then one day I got a letter in the mail from Amex. I never got no letters in the mail from Amex. I started getting letters like consistently from Amex. And whole time, I'm still keeping my personal credit in check. And I was like, dang man, I want that credit card because I like to travel. I was looking, trying to find a credit card that allows me to travel a lot, where I can get my money's worth, get my points. Amex had the deal, you get like every dollar you spend, you get 5 times the points. It was like the best thing I saw on the market. I was like, dang, every dollar I spent, I get 5 points. So what I did was, I initially, if you like to travel like I did, I took the welcome offer. I got like 160,000 points out the gate if you spend a certain amount of money. So you think about it, if you got all these expenses in trucking, all you got to do, especially you can use fuel and stuff like that. Certain expenses you can use. So I just put all the debt on the platinum business card, and and then she got my welcome offer of 160,000 points. 160,000 is equivalent to about $1,600 worth of flights. Probably a little under that, but $1,600 worth of flights or whatever the case may be. And I just started using that card and start gaining the points. So now we're looking at 12 trade lines already out the gate. I just gave y'all the blueprint right then and there. The staples require your personal credit. Yes, they do. NAV business boost is good as well, of course, to all credit. Yeah, NAV is another trade line. And they'll tell you that. Go ahead, get a NAV. Get the NAV app, put all your information in. NAV is considered a trade line. That's another trade line, and that's easy. You pay the bill every month. I can't remember. I got the top tier one, whatever, because it shows detailed information. But that's another trade line. But now you got all this stuff reporting. You got your business going. You got all this credit, and then eventually I started looking into, lines of credit. Now you want to talk about lines of credit, loans, and stuff like that. You got to have all these trade lines reporting before you can even start talking about lines of credit and loans. Now you got all these lenders calling you. You got to do your research on third-party banks when it comes to lines of credits and when it comes to bank loans, because not everybody's going to be able to get a traditional bank loan. What I mean by traditional, I'm talking about, the Truies, the Bank Americas, and stuff like that. But sometimes you got to test to see where your credit is at. And one way I found out I knew my credit was booming when I applied for that business. I applied for that business loan through Bank of America to get that Jeep I got. I just I to try it out with them, because I figured out a way how to get that inquiry removed if it didn't work out. So I tried it, I had conversations with the Bank of America, because I always thought Bank of America was catered to the larger companies. So I was having these conversations with Bank of America, went to Bank of America, and I gave them my tax returns at one point, and just trying to see what they was talking about without pulling my personal credit. So, I chilled out for a second. They said, "Oh, your tax returns look real good." Mind you, at the time when I did it, I didn't have all these drivers or whatnot. They was basing my tax returns off before I had the drivers. So it was because I didn't have the what was it, 20. I didn't have my. I had like 2020, like 2020, 2019 tax returns or something like that. Or was it 2019? It might have been 2019 and 2018 tax returns. So I didn't have all the drivers. So they based it off just pretty much me being a one truck operation. And they said, okay, you went from this to this through the pandemic. I was like, yeah. And he said, that's really good, man. A lot of people went out of business. I was like, well, I kept driving. Like I didn't give up, park the truck. I kept it moving, So I got that, and that's how I test the waters of where my business credit was sitting at. But I didn't initially do it at that time. It was like maybe 6 months to a year till I went back to Bank of America and started having these conversations again. And like I said, they told me how to do it. So I went to a dealership. Hold on a second. Is this dude right here? Hold on a second. Let me open the doors right quick. Like I was saying, I tested my credit, my business credit. So pretty much, and a BOA does a personal guarantee, but it doesn't report on the personal side. But they do a hard inquiry pull on your personal credit. So like I say, make sure your personal credit is in check. That's how I was able to get a business, the Jeep in my business name, and it reports to my business credit. That's why I made the decision to just put it on Toro and see, try something different, you know. So, um, and then there's another way to do it too with Ally, where Ally is strictly business credit. They don't even pull your personal credit. Then I did get approved with Ally too, but Ally's interest rate was higher than Bank of America. That's why I didn't go through with Ally. But that was another way for me to make some more passive income is to, go get that Jeep, and put it on Toro. It's not trucking money, but it's still profit. And it's like, like I said, it's like to take care of the monthly bill, and it's left a little left with profit. Um, so now the business is rolling. You got trade lines reporting. You can pretty much, the doors is wide open now, and you can pretty much go after these lines of credit. Now you want to talk about lines of credits and loans, third party lines of trying to change a third party line of credit. Now there's lenders out here where you can get lines of credit based off of your bank statement. So, you know, if somebody's going to offer you a line of credit for, we'll just say $10,000, $10,000, take it. The goal is, it might not be the best, but the goal is you have access to that line of credit for $10,000. The goal is to build that relationship with that lender. They will extend that line of credit. So say like they give you a line of credit for $10,000, take out the whole $10,000. Just take out the whole 10,000. Now you might have an interest rate of, we'll say like $2,000, 2,500, something like that. A lot of you guys make 2,000, 2,500 in 1 week. Some of you make it in 2 or 3 days. Okay, cool. All right. You take the $10,000 out, hold the $10,000 for 3 to 4 months, pay back the $10,000 plus the interest. Call the lenders like, hey, I just made a payment. I'm looking to see if I can get an increase. I guarantee you, they will increase that line of credit. They might go from $10,000 to $30,000. You see where I'm going with this? It's all about strategy, and you can keep doing that. You don't even got to use the line of credit. You can keep doing that for a whole year. The next thing you know, you're already up $60,000, $70,000. Just off that strategy. You see what I'm saying? And then you can also get other lines of credit from other lenders too, and do the same thing. Now they're gonna try to do this line of credit. You can get a line of credit plus a term loan. You can get both of them. You can get a loan and a line of credit at the same time, but your line of credit is gonna be cut in half because you took out that loan. But the thing is about line of credit and loans, business lines of credit and business loans, make sure you have an idea of what you're gonna do with it. So trying to go to these lenders and tell them, hey, I need these lines of credit because I just want to have it just in case it's not gonna fly. You got to tell them, what you're using it for. They want to hear what you're using it for, because the underwriters, they're gonna be like, all right, well, this guy's trying to get this line of credit and he just want to have it. Well, that's not what we want him to do it for. You got to tell them like what you're using it for. Whether it's for payroll, whether it's to buy equipment, whether it's to expand, whether it's for cash flow, things of that nature. So that's another way of getting a line of credit or a loan through a third party if you're not able to get a one through a traditional bank, because it's a little bit tricky with the traditional banks. Sometimes they're going to require you to get collateral, apply collateral, or what I mean by collateral, they want your assets, attached to it, or they might be like, all right, but we want your agent reports, which is if y'all use factoring companies or whatever the case may be, they're going to want to attach that. And that's something, It might be okay in certain people's situations, but you just got to be careful because something happens. They're coming after your assets. They're coming after your agent reports, and they got to get the money first. Um, so that can cause a bit of conflict when if especially you got multiple drivers, whatever the case may be. So you definitely just got to be careful and know what you're doing. Have a solid game plan when you're trying to get these different types of funding. But I just gave y'all the blueprint from the beginning, at least 10 trade lines to get going, having these things reported. You get all this stuff reported, you in there. But like I said from the beginning, you got to have everything has to match from your business name to your business address, EIN number, your emails, websites, and you got to when you're applying for all these different types of stuff, you got to put that information on it. Don't slip up and start putting up your personal information, you know, because once you start doing that, you might have your business name reporting to your business address and your personal home address. So don't get in the habit. You got to keep your business and your personal separate. I know y'all heard that before plenty of times. You got to keep it separate. You know what I'm saying? Having a business bank account as well. Make sure you have a business bank account. I did forget to mention that, but you do need to have a business bank account. Um, you can go get a business bank account based off of the articles or organization and your EIN letter. Always keep that EIN letter. Make multiple copies if you can. Um, you take those 2 copies to the bank, you'll get your business bank account. Now, like I said, I was using Bank of America out the gate. Um, I started with Bank of America, then I started branching off into Navy Federal, and that's why I was able to get a lot of stuff in Navy Federal. And then I had BB&T, but BB&T is merged with SunTrust now. They got Truist. Truist is really good too. Chase, I heard Chase is pretty good. I don't have a Chase bank yet, but I heard Chase is pretty good. But the thing about Chase is they really like to use your personal credit a lot. Um, but I do have a Chase credit card, but it's on the personal side. Um, but that's pretty much the blueprint of everything. If y'all got questions, I'm gonna go ahead and read the questions. Um, after after how long did you use the first 3 trade lines before you got the next? I was just using the 3 trade lines. Like I said, I use it maybe 3 or 4 times before I started going to the next tier or whatnot, or start applying for different types of credit. Like I said, it has to be $50 or more. Once you start reporting, that's why I said if you go get the Nav app, you can see it reporting. Sometimes it doesn't show the name, but if you could put 2 and 2 together and you be like, all right, well, I did this on this date, and be like, all right, well, that's that account. But I used it a couple of times, and then I moved on. It's not like you got to use it for like a whole year. Like I said, I used it about 3 or 4 times. Got some like bundles of like even though it's a little overpriced, but you gotta do what you gotta do. Bundles of toilet paper, paper towels, whatever the case was, and I just used it. Yeah, I use Ally. Yeah, Ally. I had an Ally account on my personal side. Ally was pretty good on the personal side. I just never used on the business side yet, but I'll still consider it if I can go back into the dealership and try to use Ally and get a better interest rate, then I'll go for it. Now I got this Jeep reporting to my business. Um, it's gonna my chances are better of getting a better interest rate, because I'm not a first time auto buyer no more on the business side. So now my chances are better when trying to apply for another vehicle. You see what I'm saying? KB Smooth, what up? Uh, yeah, man. A lot of y'all guys can start taking this thing to the next level, man, with just doing these simple things. Um, and that's why I said lines of credit is a game changer because now, um, you get that line of credit and you go to say you go to an auction or you go to a dealer, you don't have to finance through them no more. You can go get this line of credit, pull it out. It'll be in your account sometimes same day or sometimes next day. Go get the money. Go to that dealer. Go to that auction. Cash. You got the title. Now you got leverage. You got leverage now. Now you got the title. Now you're not dealing with the finance companies or these dealers. You already know they're going to hit you for like 20%, whatever the case may be, and the interest rate, 20, 25, 30%, whatever it is now. Dealing with all this interest building up is forever, take forever to go pay off this truck. Use that line of credit to go attain titles. You know, that's what I started doing. I started, use my line of credit, go buy trailers, get the title. Now I'm not owing nobody, no finance company, all this money. I got the title. Now I got the leverage. Now I got the opportunity to, if something happens, I can sell that trailer if need be, or whatever the case may be, whatever I need to do. That's the best thing about lines of credit, because now you have access to cash. Now you have access to get that equipment and get the title, instead of just trying to keep stacking. You know how it is. You driving a truck and keep stacking money, put money to the side. Yeah, you can do that. It might take you a little bit longer, but why not leverage your credit? That's what it's for. Business leverage your business credit. That's what it's for. To get the things you need. It's always a blessing to have titles. You know what I'm saying? You have the upper hand. You don't owe nobody besides paying back the line of credit. So use that strategy. You start using that strategy like that and building that line of credit up, you can get different things. Oh, hard inquiries. Write this down. How I did it, I use Crown Credit Pro. Crown Credit Pro. I don't know what they did. All I told them what I was trying to do, I said I want all the inquiries removed. And I think I paid like 200 bucks or 200, maybe $300. And they got like literally most of all my inquiries removed, to a point where I was like under 3 inquiries. They got everything removed. I don't know what they did, and it shot my credit score like sky high. Like my credit score just went crazy. Crown Credit Pro, hit them up. They did a great job on my credit, and it took like less than I want to say like less than 4 months. Less than 4 months. But you got to take a break sometimes. Once you get everything established, you got all this stuff, you got all these inquiries. All right, you got everything rolling. Take a break, fix your credit, get those inquiries removed. Some of them you can't get removed just because they're active accounts. And one thing you don't want to do is try to, especially like a credit card, that's an active account. You don't want to try to get a credit card removed. Crown Credit Pro know how to do certain things. You tell them what you need to do, they'll get the job done. That's simple. Yeah, I forgot. I got ADB too. I got ADB fuel card. I'm gonna drop another jewel too. XPO fuel card. I just applied for it. I'm waiting on it coming in the mail. They do report to Dun and Bradstreet. I believe that's the only one they report to. That's cool. But they got some decent discounts that I started seeing for my area. So look that up, XPO fuel card. They do report to Dun and Bradstreet. I was able to apply for XPO without a personal guarantee. I did it strictly off my business credit. No personal guarantee or nothing. There go another jewel right there. So definitely try it. Once you start getting some business, you got to have business credit to get to not do a personal guarantee with XPO. But they do report it done at Bradstreet. That A to B fuel card is good as well. You can use it on the personal side of the ability. Yeah, A to B. You can get an A to B fuel card. It's based off. It's not a personal guarantee. It's just strictly based off the EIN number. They report to the credit bureaus as well. Like I said, I don't use A to B for fuel. I use A to B for, maintenance and stuff like that. You know, all inquiries fall off after 3 years, or is it better to get them? They fall off after 2 years. Um, but if you're working on something and you need to get them inquiries removed, I suggest you just going with Crime Credit Pro and try to get it removed. Because, once you have, especially like Chase got that rule where if you got more than 5 inquiries, they don't want nothing to do with you. Especially, even with like trying to get a mortgage loan and stuff like that. You got all the inquiries sitting, you got to get those removed. So sometimes you're going to have to use a service like Prime Credit Pro to get that stuff off. Uh, I answered that question about hard inquiries. Y'all got any more questions? Um, Before I close this, I know it's a lot of information I just put out there. Some of y'all might have to go on the replay. I try to squeeze it all in, but you can always replay it, pause it, whatever. I leave it up. I don't delete videos. So, the blueprint is out there. The 10 tray line. This is especially for truckers. This is the way I did it. This is the way it worked for me. Like I said, everybody's personal credit is different. But the main thing is keeping your personal credit in check, keeping them derogatories off your credit, keeping them collections off your credit, keeping your utilization down. I tell people, they say 30%. Yeah, that's good, but try to keep it under 10% and keep your inquiries low. So, like I said, you're going to have to use your personal credit to get business credit. It is what it is. But at the end of the day, you can get those inquiries removed. What up? What up, AIC here? Yeah, it's definitely going to spend some money on your credit. Like I said, Crown Credit Pro. They do other things besides removing. They also clean up derogatories, collections. Like I said, look them up. Crown Credit Pro. Looking up. I'm not getting paid by. I'm just throwing the name out there. I found out they was the best one because I used another one before. I can't remember the name, but they didn't do as fast as Crown Credit Pro. I don't. Like I said, whatever they did, man, they cleared it up. Next thing I know, all these inquiries were removed, and I'm like, all right, that's cool. And they never came back. So that was cool. So definitely clean your credit up, keep it in check. Um, Now, if y'all want to talk about trade lines, um, like I mentioned it before, trade line supply. Um, Now, if you want to go that route, trying to put trade lines on your personal credit to boost your credit or the age of your credit, the overall age, because 15% of your personal credit is based off your age of your credit. So um, you can go do that, but I wouldn't advise getting a whole bunch of trade lines added to your personal credit because, like I said before, the banks are not stupid. They see all these, they're like, all right, well, this dude got this trade line out of nowhere. Like they're not dumb. Like try just me personally, I would just try one trade line, get like an old trade line, that's like 10 years old plus. That's reporting. If you're gonna go that route, it might be like $1,100 or $1,000 plus, or whatever it is, and it might got like a 30,000, 40,000 credit limit on there, but it was like 10 years old, and you need to get your credit boosted up to boost up your age. Go for it, but don't go crazy and just spend a whole spend a whole bunch of money on that website and attach all them trade lines to your personal credit. Like I said, the banks are not dumb. Um, if you think you slick, don't try to be slick with it either, man. Like I'm saying, man, don't try to do something crazy, but just do one, see how it works out, and boost up that credit. If that's something you need to do to boost your credit. Um, but the main goal is get them derogatories off, get the collections off, keep your utilization down. Um, those are the big things. Um, any more questions? We ready to wrap this up. Dang, I talked about a lot in 1 hour. Right? 1 hour came by quick. Um, But like I said, the goal is to get 10 trade lines. Get 10 trade lines. Once you get them 10 trade lines, the door's gonna start opening up. You're gonna get a lot of phone calls. You're gonna get a lot of stuff in the mail. You don't have to apply for everything that comes in the mail. Be careful with that too. If there's certain things you like to do or certain cash backs you like, you really like grocery shopping. Well, find a car to give you money back on your grocery shopping. If you like to travel, find a car that appeals to traveling. You see what I'm saying? One more thing about the American Express card. That platinum, yes, that was a hard card to get, but that's a charge card. So that means what I mean by what a charge card is, you got to pay that bill at the you got to pay that bill at the end of the month, every month. So that's the only downside about it. So don't go in there and try to run it up, because you gonna have to pay that bill at the end of the month. You know, so I'm looking at current other credit cards, looking to traditional ones. Me and Rob RB was talking about that Delta one, you know, and the Hilton one, Amex. I'm looking at some other cars that might be something that I might want to get into, but we haven't really been applying for too many credit cards. I've been more so on these lines of credit. You see what I'm saying? Right there, you just get off with increase. Yeah, they do. Yeah, yeah. So definitely keep your inquiries low. But like I said, sometimes you gotta use your personal credit. But I just told y'all the game plan of how to get some of them inquiries removed. Like I said, it might take a couple months, but at the end of the day, but when you're going through a credit, when you're going through like a credit process or trying to fix your credit, like I said, Crime Credit Pro, do not use your credit during those time periods. You got to be careful. Do not use anything dealing with your personal credit because they're trying to fix your credit. So don't go out there and start, applying for different things while they're trying to fix your credit. You see what I'm saying? So make sure when you hire these people to fix your credit, don't use your credit. Just chill out for a little bit. You see what I'm saying? You're gonna have to chill out for a while. You can't just keep applying for credit, keep applying for credit. You know what I'm saying? You got to chill out for a little bit. Appreciate this, no doubt. They've been sending me a lot of cards, etc. And mail now since started my LLC. Definitely being careful watching. Yeah, be careful. Yeah, just be careful with some of that stuff. Not everything needs to be. Not everything needs an application. Um, yeah, I could post some links. I gotta go back to the video. It'll probably be later on today or tonight. I can go back and post some links, to for y'all to check out. But I gotta get out of here. I appreciate y'all coming in, man. Y'all need to replay the video. Just replay the video. You need to pause the video. If you need to hit me up directly, call me Cooley, 804@gmail.com. I'll respond to emails. Hit me up. You need a link or something like that, like right now, then there, just let me know. I'll send it over. And hopefully y'all take this information and try to get some business credit, and try to level up out here. Like I said, the prices of equipment is ready to drop. You can finally go to an auction and get you a decent trailer or a truck without paying this crazy amount soon. Not now, but it's coming. It's coming. So being able to buy something, with the title is, that's obviously that's the way to go. You don't want to keep owing somebody something, but if you have a way to go get that, and a lender's giving you a line of credit to do that, go do it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna end it like that. I catch y'all later. Hit the like button, share it, and y'all drive safe out there.